This guy up. Okay. Obviously, this looks a lot more complete than what I'm used to. Fuel system is all finished up. Everything is all tightened down. All the lines, everything is all nicely and secured. We also have the spark plugs actually down underneath the cover, which has all new hardware. It all looks nice and good. Coil packs are on, spark plugs are on, everything is connected. The water neck over here, we got both coolant temp sensors that are now connected onto there. The big one and then the small one up top. You can see here that I did a little bit of tucking with the boost control solenoid. So, you know, just kind of something simple, just kind of wrap the wires around the actual bracket itself, mounted the bracket to the water pump, connected the bottom radiator outlet and the hose. Everything is clamped on, the thermostat is in there, and the actual turbo manifold is officially torqued on, as well as the turbo itself. The lines, however, are not, so these guys can still come off. The return line also, just down there, can also come off. I move this glove real quick. You can see it there at the bottom right there. So all of that is like loosely put on. It's not torqued or anything like that. I also got the turbo blanket that'll come off. It's not even connected. And last but not least is the wastegate and the dump tube. So those are officially on. Everything's all good to go. Everything's tight. The oil catch can is also finally back from powder coating. So I actually ordered this from Freed Engineering, and they were the ones who took care of it for me. But then I sent it over to a local friend's shop, and he powdered coated it for me. The wiring harness is also officially inside the car. Overall, it's just a lot more complete, and everything just looks like it's almost there. The only major things that are left to do is actually take the transmission, measure the release bearing and everything, you know, in terms of that, and then throwing it on. In fact, I actually already did also torqued the flywheel on. So if we come and take a look at it, the flywheel is also on already, and it's all set and ready to go. The bolts all around, I just kind of put them on there so that I know exactly where they go. But there is some measuring that still needs to get done. One of the things that I actually did behind the camera that many of you guys might not see or might not know about is I actually had to get an index plate so that I could index the transmission to the actual block of the engine. Reason being is because I'm using the QuickTime bell housing for the T56. It's just something that's recommended by Grannas Racing, and he has a whole video on how to do that, which is why I didn't really make a video. I just felt like it was kind of like pointless because his video is very descriptive and it explains exactly how to do that. So I'll actually link that down in the description down below if it's something that you guys are interested in. In the meantime, today, besides giving you guys that little bit of an update, what I really want to get done is install the rest of the clutch and possibly even the transmission. But we want to install the clutch for sure, and I want to do some measuring so that I can figure out where or you know, how far the hydraulic release bearing on the transmission has to be. So with that being said, let's get straight to work. Alright you guys, so I know it's dark, please bear with me, but the pilot bearing is now on, and it's past it just a little bit flush, which is where it needs to be, and it is in there very well, and it does spin freely, so we are all good to go. Pilot bearing is on. Next thing is going to be actually installing the clutch. Alright, so the clutch that was provided to me through this kit is not actually a South Bend clutch, it's actually an OS Gickens. So as you can see here, I have the billet alignment tool by Grannas Racing for the T56 bearing to the 2JZ, and this is the whole clutch here. So here's the pressure plate, nice and gold. This is like the first piece, one of the clutches. So I do believe this is actually the OS Gickens twin disc clutch because it looks like it has two clutches on here. We should be good to go. It looks like it is. Also, I'm blanking out a little bit right now, but I want to say it's springed. I'm not too sure, but it does have the springs on the inside, so it should be relatively, you know, kind of modest, at least on the street. I'm not too sure, but I guess that's something that we will figure out later on. All right, now that I got some light down here, you guys can actually see the pilot bearing. So pilot bearing is now in. It's just time for the clutch to go on, and then we'll be able to measure what the throwout bearing, like the clearance and how much space it needs in order for it to fit perfectly. Alright, so now everything is nice and snug on. It's not tight, not torqued, but basically from here, everything needs to get torqued to 13 foot-pounds according to OS Gitkins. So we should be good to go after that. It's pretty, it's on there pretty center. So I made sure to kind of raise this up a little bit because once the transmission goes on, it's gonna bring it down just a tad. But in the meantime, right now, you can see it's on there pretty well. So last thing that's left is just to torque this in the proper torque sequence, which I have off of OS Gitkins' website. And then we are all set to go with the clutch. Alright, you guys, so it's roughly been about a week and a half since I last picked up the camera in the last clip where you guys saw me installing the clutch. Reason for that is because I've been doing a lot of traveling. So as you guys have seen on the channel, I did go to Vegas for Supras in Vegas, did a ton of stuff, and honestly there's just been some stuff that I've done in the background that I haven't really recorded, I guess you could say. There's just stuff that I haven't documented all around because I've just gotten super involved in actually getting things done. You can see that the engine is sitting in a perfect upright position because you can see that the transmission is mated. So reason for why I didn't really take the time to record that is because Grannas Racing, or Joel from Grannas Racing, already has that all documented on how to do it, how to get it done. So I didn't feel like there was really a need to show the whole process, I guess, or kind of walk you guys through it. Point is, I got it done. The transmission is finally in the car. The engine is mounted upright, and I am really, really excited because we are now one step closer. Next thing that we're gonna wanna do for sure is, obviously we need to bleed the clutch master cylinder. So I have the line already snaked down. This is not the position that it's going to be in, but pretty much that's what it's in right now. And then the only thing that's really left is to bleed it. So one of the biggest and main reasons as to why I haven't been really posting as consistently is because I'm still in school. So I go to school for automotive technology, so that's where I learn how to do a majority of this, but a good amount as well has always been just trial and error. And you know, just learning on this car itself has been by far one of the most fun experiences that I have ever had. And so I just kind of take it day by day, just, you know, slowly learning. You know, sometimes I forget to pick up the camera because I'm just so involved, I get so focused, and I just want to get things done. Fuel system, good to go. Clutch and brakes, still need to work on those. Transmission is mounted, but I still need to go down and actually torque the bell housing. Pretty much this is the layout right now. Everything looks great. Definitely need some new brakes before we go ahead and finally get this thing back on the road, but she's finally becoming complete. And so with all that being said, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, who keep up with the content, who, you know, have post notifications on and take the time to actually go ahead and comment and like. You guys mean the world to me. Like I said, it's been about 4 or 5 years since I actually started YouTube, and I'm not gonna say like I've gotten super serious about it, but it's definitely something that I've been thinking about pursuing for a very long time, just because I really enjoy filming. The editing portion and just kind of incorporating it into my life has always been the hardest part, because it's very hard for me to stay consistent and get that content out for you guys. But if you guys continue to just show me that you guys are interested and want to be seeing this stuff, then I have no problem with staying up late or just doing what I got to do to get this content out for you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Remember to stay up, stay tuned, and peace out, y'all. Until next time.